Well, good morning, First Orlando family. My name is Reid Adams, and I serve at the Horizon West campus. And this morning on the daily, during the couple minutes we have for devotional time, I want to start by going back to the beginning of the year when Pastor David and Pastor Chris led us through a series that was focused on what our words for 2020 would be. I have this problem every year that I know this series is coming, and around November and December I start thinking and praying and reflecting on what my word's going to be, and somehow it doesn't all come together until midway through January or maybe even early February. So I'm always a little late to the party. But this year, I got my word probably the middle of January, right about the time we were going through that series, and really felt God leading me towards the word essential of all things. And then when I landed on the word, I had no idea how that word would be used in the context in which it would speak and communicate things just a few short months later as we're in the midst of all of this craziness. For me at the time, essential had a lot to do with trying to simplify my life and feeling like I wanted to eliminate distractions and focus on the things that were most important. To figure out what's most important to me, what are my core values, and is the way that I spend my time and the way that I treat others really in line with what that is? What are the essentials for me? And that kind of looked like a lot of different things, and I really was still trying to discover and figure out, where in this word and all that it can mean is God wanting to speak to me. And as so often happens, over the next couple weeks and months, things got busy and confusing, and my word kind of fell to the back burner. And then a couple weeks ago, Pastor David was talking about this new series that we're in called Essentials and what it meant for the early church. And God brought this verse, this story out of the book of Luke, right up into the front of my mind and really pressed it upon me. And I want to share that story with you because I think it also has some words of encouragement for you this morning as well. It's found in the book of Luke in chapter 10. If you have a Bible, you can go there now. Beginning in verse 38 of chapter 10 in Luke, it says that now as they went on their way, Jesus entered a village, and a woman named Martha welcomed him into her house. And she had a sister called Mary who sat at the Lord's feet and listened to his teaching. But Martha was distracted with much serving. And she went up and said to him, "Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to serve alone? Tell her then to help me." But the Lord answered her, "Martha, Martha, you are anxious and troubled about many things, but one thing is necessary. Mary has chosen the good portion, which will not be taken away from her." If there's one thing that I think we can agree on, it's that there's much to be distracted by and troubled by and anxious about during this season. It's very easy to be the Marthas in this season, trying to stay busy and wondering what's going to happen next. But just as it was true then, it's true now. Jesus says one thing is necessary. You could say one thing is essential. And that's to sit at the feet of Jesus. That's what God's been challenging me with lately. And in the midst of not knowing what each day is going to bring, I think it's a good practice for us. And I would encourage you together with me this morning for just a couple minutes before we begin our day, before we do anything else, to get still, to get quiet for just a moment, and to sit at the feet of Jesus.